When Cinderella got home from the ball, her fairy godmother was sitting by the fire waiting for her.
Oh, fairy godmother, what have I done? I was having such a wonderful time at the ball that I completely forgot about the time. The prince danced just with me the entire evening, and I felt like a princess. And now I have spoiled it all. What am I to do?
I'm sorry, my dear. I would like to help you, but you see, being a princess can sometimes be just as difficult as being plain Cinderella. You were a princess once, and perhaps someday you will be a princess again. But this time you will have to become one through your own efforts.
But how?
You've got to do it by yourself, so give yourself a good pep talk. Once you've taken that very first step, you'll find you can walk. Everyone needs a helping hand, so give yourself a lift or two. Stop feeling so inferior. There's nothing that you can't do if you just give it a try. Just set your sights and aim high. Once you start in, you'll agree it's all just as simple as ABC. Put all your worries in a box and place them on the shelf. When opportunity knocks, just open up the door. Go do it yourself. If you just give it a try, just set your sights and aim high. Once you start in, you'll agree it's all just as simple as ABC. Put all your worries in a box and place them on the shelf. When opportunity knocks, just open up the door. That's right. Go do it yourself.
And now, Cinderella, it's time for me to leave. I think I hear your stepsisters arriving. Remember what I've told you.
I will, and thank you for the most wonderful day of my life.
Cinderella, what are you doing? Don't just stand there.
Hang our coats in the closet.
We are exhausted.
Help me to remove my gown.
Did you have a good time at the ball?
We would have had a much nicer time.
If we had been able to dance with the prince.
But he spent the entire evening
with a beautiful young princess.
Was she really beautiful?
Apparently he thought so.
But at the stroke of 12...
she fled in such haste
that she lost one of her glass slippers.
And the prince picked it up and did nothing but gaze at it.
For the rest of the ball.
We have had enough talk.
Take care of our clothes, Cinderella.
We are going to bed.
When Cinderella had finished hanging up her stepsister's clothes and banked the fire for the night and turned out all of the lamps in the house, she went to her room and gazed out her window at the stars.
Oh, it has been a wonderful day. I wish that every day would turn out the way this one did. Once upon a dream I thought I heard a robin say, "Don't frown, don't fret. Just because you wake up and your dreams have flown away, don't give them up just yet. Dreams aren't made in a moment. You must let them grow bigger each day, and your castles in air can be built anywhere, even when the clouds are gray. So don't be so downhearted. Lift your head up to the skies. It's not the end. Just dream that dream again. It puts the sparkle in your eyes, and it may all come true, my friend.
The next day at the palace, inquiries were made of the palace doorkeepers as to whether they had seen a princess leave. But they declared they had seen no one, except a young girl, very ill-clad, who looked more like a servant girl than a young lady. The prince issued a proclamation throughout the land, which stated that he would take for his wife the owner of the foot which the glass slipper would fit. Day after day he traveled from town to town, determined to find his princess. Where are you now? Where have you gone? How long must I keep on wandering from town to town? Looked all around. When will I see the star that points the way to where you are? Where are you now? I wish I knew. Were you just a dream that now has ended? I'll go on my way forever and a day, calling where are you? One sunny morn, I'll see your smile, and I'll know that my long search is ended. But until that day, I'll go on my way, calling where are you? Finally, one day he arrived in the town where Cinderella lived, and in a short time was at her house. Cinderella's stepsisters bowed and scraped before the prince.
May I try on the slipper, Your Highness? I'm sure that it's my size.
Of course it isn't. It's much too small for you. Let me try.
I'm afraid that it does not fit either of you. Is there anyone else who can try?
Let me see if it will not fit me.
Cinderella's sisters burst out laughing, but the prince looked closely at Cinderella, and observing that she was very beautiful, he declared that the claim was a fair one. He asked Cinderella to sit down, and as he put the slipper to her foot, He saw that it slid on without trouble and was molded to its shape perfectly. The two sisters were greatly astonished at this, but were even more surprised when Cinderella drew the other glass slipper from her pocket. This she also put on. At that very moment, her fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's clothes into the ones she had worn to the ball. And the two stepsisters recognized Cinderella for the beautiful princess whom they had seen at the ball. They threw themselves at her feet, begged her pardon for all the ill treatment she had received at their hands. Cinderella raised them up, and declared as she embraced them that she pardoned them with all her heart. She was taken to the palace by the prince, and in a few days they were married. Cinderella was as good as she was beautiful. She set aside apartments in the palace for her two sisters, and married them the very same day to two gentlemen of high rank about the court.
Anything can happen in a fairy tale. Anything can happen at all.
The stories may seem simple
But we all know they're not.
They sprinkle on some moon dust.
to thicken up the plot.
You have to pay attention and not miss one small detail, 'cause anything can happen in a merry fairy tale.
Oh, Snow White eats an apple,
Sleeping Beauty takes a nap.
Prince Charming rides upon his horse.
a handsome kind of chap.
His record is exceptional, and it is understood
That one fine day he'll catch the wolf from Miss Red Riding Hood.
anything can happen in a fairy tale. Anything can happen at all.
Giants get defeated,
The witch has lost her broom. The prince who was a big brown bear turns out to be the groom.
They all have happy endings, truth and justice must prevail. Oh, anything can happen in a merry fairy tale.